What's up, guys? I'm Andrew Erickson. Today I'm coming at you with my favorite player props for NFL Week 4. Let's build that bankroll. But before we dive in, if you want a chance to win a signed James Cook Buffalo Bills jersey, all you have to do is subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel right now, comment below in this video, and that's it. We'll be announcing a winner on Sunday, so this is your last chance. Make sure to turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to claim your prize. Now, let's get to the best bets, best player props for Week 4. And who to better kick things off with than the man that jersey we're giving away than James Cook. I love the over on James Cook, over 56.5 rushing yards this week. If the Bills have any chance of slowing down the Dolphins offense, I think it's going to go through time of possession. They do that by running the ball through James Cook. Cook currently ranks third in the NFL in rushing yards. His prop is just so low at 56.5. You look at him compared to some of these other running backs that are at the top of the NFL in rushing. Those guys have props 70 yards, 75 yards. His at 56.5. So considering the Dolphins' defense is bad against the run, ranks dead last in expected points added versus the run this season, I think James Cook is going to have a field day as one of the Bills' most explosive playmakers. They're going to have to be putting up points against this Dolphins offense. So I like the James Cook over. Sticking to the Bills-Dolphins game, Dawson Knox, tight end, over 23.5 receiving yards. Look, the draft prop cheat sheet loves you over on Dawson Knox, which is, it's so low, 23.5 receiving yards. He's only gone over the number once this year, but he did it twice in 3 games last year versus the Miami Dolphins. And before last week's demolition of the Denver Broncos, where no tight ends were involved on Denver's side, Miami had allowed an average of 64 receiving yards to tight ends in back-and-forth contests. So I think that, especially when you look at how the Patriots deployed their 2 tight ends against the Miami Dolphins, had some success. I think we're going to see something similar with the Bills tight ends between Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, where you're having Dawson Knox in that Hunter Henry role. So they also, Miami allowed a touchdown in each of those tight ends in the first 2 weeks of the year. So that dovetails nicely with my first touchdown, anytime touchdown prop with the Bills starting tight end. Dawson Knox first TD prop plus 1,800, anytime touchdown props plus 250. So hear me out, because I hit on Donald Parham Jr. last week, hit on Jake Ferguson the week before that. Let's ride Week 4. Here we go. Knox leads the Bills in red zone targets with 5 this year. He went 0 for 2 in the red zone last week, but Josh Allen was looking his way. If you check out the fantasy football forecast, I wrote about that with Dawson Knox. When you look at how involved he is in the 5-yard line, only Durham Smythe and Jake Ferguson have played more snaps inside the 5-yard line among tight ends. Third in snaps inside the 10-yard line. He scored a touchdown in his last 2 games against the Miami's defense. And as I mentioned before, Miami's allowed a receiving touchdown the first 2 weeks of the season, along going with 8 receptions per game. So, a high-scoring environment, check. Dawson Knox, favorite red zone target of Josh Allen, check. And it's a good matchup. So, Dawson Knox, anytime touchdown. Really hope he hits Pater. It's going to make my Sunday afternoons just that much more swimmingly. Now, we're going to move across the pond for the next one here. Bijan Robinson, rookie running back, over 25.5 receiving yards. Because the receiving props are just too low. He's had at least 27 receiving yards in all 3 of his games so far this year. He leaves all running backs, every single running back, in target share at 21%. He's the number 1 target on his offense. When's the last time we saw a number 1 receiver on his team have a receiving prop as low as 25.5? I know Desmond Ritter's not Tom Brady, but 25.5 receiving yards for a number 1 receiver is just way too low. He's run around on 75% of the dropbacks, which also ranks first among all running backs. So it's not a fluke that he's having all these targets, receiving yards, and receptions. The usage is there for Bijan Robinson as a pass catcher in this offense, and I love the matchup against the Jags. The Jaguars have been horrible after the catch, allowing the most yards after the catch while ranking 6th in missed tackles. So Bijan Robinson ranks 6th in total yards after the catch this year. Look, guys, Dameon Pierce, who's one of the most inefficient running back pass catchers, don't tell Derek Brown, he surpassed 26 receiving yards against the Jaguars. If he could do that, then I'm going to bet Bijan Robinson can do it as well. Over 25.5 receiving yards, Bijan Robinson, book it. Start your Sunday off great with a nice prop in that early afternoon or the early morning when we see the Jaguars take on the Falcons in London. This is my other favorite prop. Plus money, you can get this one. Javonte Williams, over 13.5 rushing attempts. Look, the Broncos, in terms of their run-pass ratio, 7th highest neutral run rate. They want to run the football. The Bears' defense ranks first in carries faced this year by opposing running backs, 29 per game. You got to bet the over on Javonte Williams rushing attempts. 13.5 with plus money odds. He's averaged 12 through 3 weeks. So we've been very close with Javonte Williams. But I want to point out that in the first halves of games, he's actually averaged 7 carries. So he's actually been better in the first half than the second half, just because the Broncos offense has kind of sputtered out in the second halves of games. Will not be the case here against the Chicago Bears, who have the worst defense, arguably, in the NFL. So I like Juggernaut Javonte to hit the number here with a full game under his belt. He's getting healthier. I also actually kind of like his receiving props over as well. But for right now, this one at plus money is definitely my favorite bet to make on Javonte Williams as a talented running back against the Chicago Bears defense. Now we're going to go with some unders. You got to throw some unders in there. Joe Mixon under 52.5 rushing yards, because he's hit 56, 59, 65 the last 3 weeks. So that's put him over this week 4 betting line. But the Tennessee Titans, guys, is a no-run defense. It's a different animal. No running back they have faced this year has gone over 45 rushing yards. They haven't allowed 60 rushing yards to running back since week 3 of last year. It's been a full calendar year since they've allowed 60 rushing yards to one running back. So even if Mixon comes close to this, because he does get a decent amount of volume in that Bengals offense, the game script just to me projects, hey, we're the Bengals. We want to go super pass heavy. Joe Burrow's off the injury report. We're ready up. We're ready to go. We're ready to get this pass game going. So Mixon could be fine from a fantasy perspective because he's going to be involved in the passing game, but I'm pounding his rushing unders. I have no confidence he's going to fly into this. So 52.5 rushing yards under Joe Mixon. This one is the stone cold lock of the week. This is it. This is it, folks. We talked about this on one of the shows we did earlier. The guest brought this on. I wanted to actually have as one of my best bets, but I couldn't because the guest had it, so I'm bringing it up here. Zach Wilson under 177.5 passing yards. The number is comically low for an NFL quarterback, but here we are. Zach Wilson has gone under this number in every game this year. He's gone under this number in 80% of his last 10 games. 177.5 passing yards. 80%? It's bonkers. And I think that there's another out with this one, too, because there's a chance that if Zach Wilson sucks in the first half again, the Boo Birds are coming out, the Jets fans are booing him left and right, he could get flat out benched if Trevor Siemian is active in this game. He could come out in the second half and be the starting quarterback, and Zach Wilson's nowhere to be found. So I think this is going to be a disastrous night for Gangrene. I don't like Zach Wilson in this spot. The Chiefs defense has allowed just 178 passing yards per game this year, ranked 6th fewest. They were allowing just 5.7 yards per attempt, which is lower than the Patriots, Cowboys, and Bills are all teams that have already faced the Jets this year. Under Zach Wilson, 177.5 passing yards, stone cold lock of the week. Book it. Sorry, Jets fans. And this is my other favorite one, actually. So if Zach Wilson didn't exist, this would be my stone cold lock. Jordan Addison over 38.5 receiving yards. I don't know why it's so low. He's gone over like 50 receiving yards in his 3 games. So he's flown over this receiving total in 3 straight games. And his route participation and snaps have also increased in the offense every single week. He saw a season high 8 targets in week 3, but didn't score. I mean, I'm not afraid of this Panthers defense. You look at the Panthers, they've allowed 4 different wide receivers to go over 55 yards over the last 2 weeks. DK Metcalf posted 100 yards against them in week 3. And when you look at Addison and DK Metcalf, they're used in a similar manner where perimeter alignment, 13-plus average depth of target. I think Addison is going to fly over this number for the 4th straight week. And I can't believe it's this low. Honestly, when I saw it earlier in the week, it was like 51. And I was like, I like the over at 51. But getting at 38.5, Jordan Addison, easy money to take the over on that one. So that's going to tie it for me, guys. My favorite props for NFL Week 4. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Again, check out all my bets over on the Betting Pros app. Follow me, tail me, fade me, do whatever you feel is right. Thanks again for watching. But before you go, remember, if you want a chance to win a signed James Cook Buffalo Bills jersey, all you have to do is subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below this video, and that's it. We're announcing a winner this Sunday. So this is your last chance. So make sure to turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to claim your prize. Again, thanks for watching. Enjoy your bets.